Guys, you are welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, you are welcome. My name is Arkai. Today we are coming to learn how to sew this simple summer sleeve dress. So if that's what you want to learn, let's get right into the video. We are using 2 yards of wax print. The print I'm using is GTP, made in Ghana. GTP wax printer. That's what I'm using. We are using 2 yards. We have some leftover for the belt and the flap, but it's 2 yards. I've folded it into 4. That's my starting line. I'm running my starting line. So I'm measuring the length. The length is 42. We'll add 2-inch allowance, so it will be 44. My table is a little bit short. I normally do video from the house and from the shop, so this one is from the shop. So when you see that thing on the wall, is from the shop, and the plain wall is from the house. My office, the one with the design is office, and the plain one is from the house. So we'll measure our neck. You measure your cross back. The cross back is 17. Then we add 7 inches. That will serve as a sleeve. So you measure your cross back, then you measure 7 inches. So this is the round arm. I'm making it 20 inches. Then when I finish, I'll use the person's round arm to shape it. So I'll come down by 10 to connect the line. The round arm is 10, so I'll go down by 10 and connect the line. The person's measurement, my client's measurement is, the bust is 44. So that's what I'm marking now, 44 inches. Then I'll add 4 inches, a loose dress. I'll add 4 inches sewing allowance. So I'm rolling the line. I'm connecting that 10 inches to the armhole, armpit. Yeah. So that's where the sleeve will come. That's the summer sleeve. It's not joined, it's not cut, it's a joined sleeve. From the shoulder to the sleeve is joined. It's called summer sleeve. So I'm rolling the line at the waist. The shoulder to waist is 19 inches, so I've rolled the line. Then that one too, I'll use the measurement to shape it. The waist is 40. I'll add 4 inches, so it will be 44. So that's what I'm marking. Then the hip is 49.50, so I'll make use of 50 inches. Then I'll add 4 inches or 5 inches. So I've connected the armhole to the waist. I'm connecting the line to the waist, the shape to the waist, sorry. So that's the hip, 50 inches. Then I'll add 4 inches allowance. I want it to be loose. So that's what you roll it like you are making a A-line dress. So you can see the bottom part is small. So I finished rolling the lines. So now cut. So the neck width is 4 inches, and the depth is 7 or 8 inches because the front is a V-neck. Then we slant the shoulder by 1 inch. So that's what I'm making there. So we'll cut. Then we cut the front. Is joined together. The sleeve and the shoulder is joined. It's not separate. It's called summer sleeve. So you measure your cross back, then you add. It depends on the length that you want. If you want it to be a little shorter, you can add 4 or 5 inches, so that it will be on your shoulder, below your shoulder. But this one will be at the ankle, elbow, sorry, at the elbow. So I'm notching the waist. So I'll take the back piece away from the fabric is double. So I'm marking the neck. The neck depth is 8 inches and the width is 4 inches. So I'm removing the back from it. So I'll cut the front V-neck. Then we cut the center. Then we use fabric to make the flap where the bottom and the bottom holes will come. So I'm using my cuff ruler to shape or to rule a line at the neck. So this is it. It's a V-neck, but not deep V. So that's what I'm marking there. After that, then we cut, then we divide, or we cut the center into two. So I'll go down by 20 inches from where the neck ends, where the V-neck ends. I'll measure 20 inches and cut that part. You won't cut it to the bottom part, no, because the bottoms didn't go to the bottom. It stopped below the waist, somewhere around your hip area. So we'll measure from the neck to where we want to cut 20 inches. Then we cut the center where we will do the flap for the bottoms and the bottom holes. So 20 inches. So we are cutting the center. That's where the 20 inches ends. So I'll notch that side, that part, so that I'll see where my flap will start and where it ends. So I've notched it. You'll notch it inside, like you cut it like a half an inch. So that's where you use to sew the flap. So I finished cutting the body. Now I'll cut the belt. There's a belt in it. So these are the pieces. The person brought half piece, like 6 yards of fabric, and we use the 4 yards for another style. Then the remaining is for the friend who is using the 2 yards. So I'm using the leftover for the belt and pockets and the facing. So if you have 2 yards, you can't get same thing. If you are a small person, you can get, but this one is a plus size. So I'm cutting the belt. I didn't get it long, so I will join it. I got it 3 pieces, so I will join it together. Then I'll get the long belt. Then I'll sew and turn it and iron it before we get our belt. So I'm pinning all the pieces together so that I'll get my long belt. Then after that, I'll fold it into 2, then sew it and turn it over, and turn it. So that's how you make your belt. Then I'll turn it. Yes. So now we'll put that one aside. Then we cut our flap. Yeah, I'm measuring 4 inches. Then you fold it into 2. It will be 2. So when you sew half, then you will get 1 inch. So 4 inches. That's the width, and the length is 20 inches. But I added 5 inches because the flap didn't end at where I notched or where I marked. It will go down small, about 4 or 3 inches. So that's why I cut it 25 inches instead of 20 inches. So 25 inches instead of 20 inches. So I'm cutting the flap. After that, I'll fold it into 2, cut stiff or interspacing. Then I'll cut it 1 inch and iron it to one side, then fold it, then I'll attach it to the front piece. So this, we have small fabric here, we'll use it to cut the facing. The facing will go inside. We'll put it at the right side, then you sew it and you flip it over to the inside, the wrong side, then you fold the ends, then you top stitch it. So we don't do weaving or overlock at the facing. So this is the facing. I'm cutting the pocket. It has a side pocket. So that's what I've cut now. This is the belt. We are now coming to start sewing. This is the belt. So I've finished sewing. I've turned it over. So we'll now do the body. So I've sewed the facing to. No, I will now put the facing on it at the right side. Sew it and turn it to the wrong side. Then top stitch it. Then I'll pipe the back. I'll do a piping at the back because the fabric is not enough for me to cut the facing. So I'll use same fabric or cloth to cut the piping and sew it in. Then I'll join the shoulders and do the flap. I'm coming to make the flap now. So you sew the facing first before you make your flap. So that's the flap. I'm pinning it. I've ironed it off camera. So the 1/2 inch, that's what I'm using to pin it. You let it pass the neck like 2 inches, like it will be longer than the neck, so that you fold that one in before you sew. So I finished sewing. So you can see so I finished sewing. I'll notch where I notch where the flap will end. So that's what I'm marking there. So be careful when you are notching, don't go deep. Other than that, you spoil your style. So I'll finish sewing. I'll flip it over. Then the sewing seam will go in the flap. It will go in. So I'll pin everything down, go to the machine, stitch it, then bring it for us to see. So that's the neck. You make sure you fold everything in. I don't want to speed the video. You can see I don't speed my videos because I want you to see everything. When you are learning, when you speed it, the person cannot see a lot of things. So please watch till the end so that you can see how I make it, so that when you are doing yours, it will be easy for you to make. But if the video is speeding, you can't see what the person is doing. So that's the facing. I'm pinning it. I've pinned the other side. I'm pinning this side too. So after that, then I'll go to the machine, then go and sew it and bring it for us to see. Then we join the shoulder. Then we hem the sleeve. When you join the shoulder, the sleeve will be wide, so it will be 20 inches when you open it. So you fold it into 2, then you sew it. After that, it's a free dress, so maybe the side seam will make it 1 inch or 1/2 inch. Then we hem the bottom. Then I'll do my buttonholes and camera buttonholes and buttons off camera, so that I'll bring it for you to see the finished look of the dress. So I'm pinning everything before I sew. So that's it. You can see it's called flap. It's a flap. So the upper side will be where the buttonholes will come, then the lower part will be where the buttons will be. So when you finish sewing, you cross it like so. You give it a stitch that you like you are designing. So you do the stitches like you are like a cross, yeah. You times it, like you sew it like times. So I'm now coming to join the shoulder. I finished piping the back, so I'll join the shoulders, hem the sleeve, then I'll sew the size, then I'll hem the bottom, then the dress is ready. So this is it. You can see the neck is V-neck. It's not a deep V. So you fold the sleeve to, then you sew after joining the shoulders. Yeah, so I finished joining the shoulder, then I will now go and sew the sleeve. You fold it into two like so, then you fold it again, then you sew. Yeah, so I finished sewing. So I'm taking the measurement again and see how I'll sew the size, the measurement that I'll use to sew the size. So I'll sew the size like 1 inch or half an inch, then I'll bring it for us to see. So I finished sewing. The person like buttonholes in all dresses, so I'll finish making the buttonholes. You can see, so I'm putting the belt in the buttonholes, then I'll make the bottoms off camera and the buttonholes, then I'll put it on the mannequin for us to see the finished look. So you can try it and see. If you have your 2 yards and you are a small person, you can get your belt, your dress, everything in it. So that's it. So this is the front. You can see where I will mark the buttons and the buttonholes, and I'll fix it and bring it for us to see. So this is the finished look. You can try it and see. So this is how it looks. It's a very nice and lovely dress. You can try it and see. See you in the next one. Bye bye.